It's Thursday night, and you know what that means. Just a Bit Outside radio show, live on the air, live on Facebook, live on YouTube. Share the link, share that love. And you know, it's been a couple weeks since we were on the air. You went globetrotting. You know, we were still recovering from the shock of the draft. But as always, you got Mark, you got Keisha. Keisha, how is it going?
Oh man, everything is good. Everything is great, despite a little pollen in the air that I'm struggling with. But yeah, man. I mean, I can breathe out of one nostril, so I'm here, and we ready to jam. So, how you doing, man?
I'm doing okay. Yeah, it's been a couple of weeks just in the last week. It's been a lot going on, you know.
Hell yeah. And you know, it's my birthday month, and I always like to do it up real big for the month of May. And like as Mark said a little earlier, I kicked off the month of May with a trip to the ATL. And man, let me just tell you, I had a fantastic time. And it's always good to get away for a few days and have some fun, reset and recharge. You know what I mean?
Look. You know, just because I moved to the South doesn't mean you got to go deeper in the South than me.
You know what's so funny? You gave me quite a chuckle when we were, you know, rapping while I was down there. You're like, man, did you drive? Stop at to see me on the way back. And you know damn well, if I would have drove a car down there, I would have most definitely came through.
Well, no, I mean, definitely came through. Yeah, no, I know. Just I know that the way from Baltimore to Atlanta, like, goes out of the way of Asheville, so it would have been like, you know, about an hour and a half, 2 hours for me to go down and meet you. But yeah, like I was saying, man, if she drove, I'm definitely gonna like take the day off and meet.
but no worries, man. I'm gonna make it down there real soon.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, let's get things started with the show, man. Gosh. I mean, I just feel like there's nothing but bad news with sports and the 410 right now.
Wait, whoa.
Oh, I mean,
Bad news with sports and the 410? Because, I mean, while something unfortunate did happen with the Ravens, I'm kind of thrilled at the replacement.
oh yeah, well yeah, of course you are, you Arizona Wildcat man. But let's just go ahead and get into it. First things first, let's get rid of the elephant in the room. Let's get it out the way. So this week, it was this week, right? Yeah, it was like what, Monday, maybe?
I thought it was over the weekend, even like Saturday, Sunday, maybe.
Or maybe over one. I was gonna say maybe Sunday.
Yeah.
All right. So here in the 410, we lost, and with the flock, we've lost a very, a highly revered. I mean, at this point, I don't even know if I can even say that phrase right now. But I mean, it's just
someone that
yeah, I'm struggling, man. Go ahead.
someone that as a player made a very significant contribution on the field.
Yeah.
Obviously, like in the last season, his off the field antics took a hit. But Justin Tucker, if correct me if I'm wrong, but he was like the last holdover of the Super Bowl team.
Yeah.
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 Most accurate kicker up until last season, NFL history. You got that 66 yarder in Ford Field in Detroit. Set the record there. I think his contributions as a Raven, second to none. You can't dispute it.
Absolutely. And Mark, I've been struggling with this because for a long time, his career here was so illustrious. There was absolutely no doubt that he would be inducted into the Ring of Honor here with the Ravens. Absolutely no doubt that he's going to the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
But with the recent allegations and the just with all the recent news and everything, it really is heartbreaking if you were a fan of the guy.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. And, it's heartbreaking for me, man. Like, seriously, I have never bought a kicker's jersey.
Yeah.
But I got Justin Tucker's jersey. And, back in the fall when he was struggling, everybody was scratching their heads. Nobody could understand what the hell was going on with this guy, especially here in Baltimore, because, this guy was automatic from everywhere.
Yeah.
And then for it to come out, not to just have one bad game, but to have a string of bad games, okay? Then you got rumors out there. We talked about this, in the fall. We talked about this when it happened.
Yep.
You have the rumors swirling around about, he's going through a divorce, and that adds another element of what the hell is going on. And, unfortunately, months later, we find out about these allegations, right? The best way that I can put it is, my guy has a hard time keeping his hands to himself.
Yeah.
It's really unfortunate. There's been a lot of back and forth in social media, a lot of back and forth with fans, because there's two sides of this, right?
Uh-huh.
There are fans that, feel betrayed, and I'm part of that group.
Yeah. Yeah.
Especially, as a woman, I am part of that group. And then you have another group of fans that say, this one thing should not define his career. This is not, this one incident is not who he is. Blase, blase, blah. And can we talk about this a little bit, Mark?
I think we already are.
Can we talk about why that shit is not okay to say?
Yeah.
Okay, and Mark, I'm about to go there. I always keep it 100. I love I love all people. I love all races, but I am always gonna keep it 100 on this podcast. You know why? Because this is our show. We get to say what we want.
Exactly.
Right? Tell you why this don't work.
Preach.
Okay. First of all, it does not work. You cannot say things like that to black fans because we have seen, and in Baltimore, we have seen firsthand, and I don't care if one was on videotape and the other one wasn't. We have seen the effects of these kind of actions and how they have been detrimental to black football players.
Yep.
Okay? Ray Rice had maybe not an equally illustrious career, but he had himself a hell of a career. All it took was a 2-3 minute video on an elevator for everything to be taken away from him.
Yep.
Where was the advocating for Ray Rice? Not once did I hear any sympathy, any remorse, anything like, this shouldn't define who Ray Rice is as a person. I didn't hear it, I didn't see it, and Mark, I'm telling the truth.
Oh, yeah. I mean, especially on the national stage, but even with the local reporters.
Local. Yeah, forget the national stage. They don't even know they don't know anything about the 410. Okay,
Yeah.
If you ain't living in the 410, you don't know the 410. Okay, I'm talking about Ravens fans, specifically addressing Ravens fans. Okay?
Yep.
You cannot walk around, and you cannot be in these groups. You cannot walk around talking to other fans and spitting that rhetoric, man, because, honestly, I look at it as a slap in the face.
For sure.
And it doesn't do anything but illustrate the inequalities that we continue to have here, man.
You got to hold everyone to the same standard. You can't just pick and choose. Yeah.
Exactly. I love both players. I don't wish harm or ill will on either one of those players. But damn it, you better give him the same energy that you gave Ray Rice. I don't want to hear no excuses. I don't want to hear no shoulda, coulda, wouldas. Facts are facts, dog.
Yep.
Ray Rice had one incident with one woman. Apparently, Justin Tucker, it's more than one woman. Several allegations.
And they pulled out receipts from years ago.
Yeah. Second thing. The majority of it happened before he even became a Raven. Yo, what?
What?
What kind of logic?
Who was saying that? Is they dumb?
Yeah. I saw that in a couple of Facebook groups.
Wow.
It's just so insane to me how just the color of your skin, the perception, the consequences, the empathy, or lack thereof if you are not a white individual.
Yeah.
It's just astounding to me. And anybody that takes that approach, I'm telling you right now, outsiders, you should be ashamed of yourself.
Hell yeah.
Okay? Now, another reason why, he needs to get his due is because the NFL has to change this culture.
Yeah.
Okay. Is it safe to say that this is a freaking culture now? Because we don't have one-offs anymore with this particular situation.
Well, I'm pretty sure I heard some people saying when Deshaun was going through it, like, it's something a lot of players do, and people are going to get found out.
Yeah. And, as a woman, I find it deplorable.
Absolutely.
Absolutely deplorable. I've been talking to a lot of my fellas, a lot of my ladies about this whole situation. And the thing that I can't just stress enough, what is it about the NFL culture that when these players go to an office, a facility, whatever, and you see the words physical therapist, but in your mind you're reading sex worker? What the hell? Like, there's no better way for me. I think that's the best way to put it to me, Mark. Like,
right? Yeah, I mean, and we all know like the massage parlors exist. A couple of them got busted up on. They've been busted all over Harford Road and Bel Air Road.
Oh yeah, I've heard about that.
Go to those happy ending places if that's what you want to do. But these massage therapists are legit sports trained massage therapists. Give them their respect.
Exactly. And thank you. You hit it right on the head. Do you know how hard these women had to work as far as studying and breaking barriers just to get into the position that they were in?
Right.
To be dealing with somebody's foolishness after all of that? I mean, it's like, I'm just absolutely, I just can't say anything else other than me just being completely disgusted. He does not get off the hook with me. I don't care that he's the best kicker of the Ravens history. I don't care that he might be the all-time best kicker in the in NFL history.
Yeah.
But the NFL has to do something about that.
And
you cannot have it.
I mean, obviously locker rooms are full of testosterone and everything, a lot of machismo, but that still doesn't cut it because, I thank my parents because I was raised to respect women. And that doesn't mean like when people aren't looking, that means all the time. And I hope I'm doing the same with Reese. He seems to be. But it's not that hard to respect women. You just treat them like you want to be treated, just like you would any other person.
Absolutely. And, Mark, the NFL needs to get a handle on it, honestly, because in these times, you have more women watching football more than ever.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the mass ain't massing, like, in the interest of your own product, I would think it would behoove you to get a handle on this, especially after this incident, because I mean, I think it's safe to say that we were all shocked to hear about this with Justin Tucker. Like, seriously, legit one of the last people I would expect to be caught with this kind of behavior.
I think it hurts even more just because he's not just a player on the Ravens. They've done like special segments on the football shows about him being an opera singer and a hip hop singer,
church boy, and all that crap.
He's done stuff where like he's in the community and he's calling people dummy, and he's like ingrained himself in the Baltimore culture. He's the face of Royal Farms, or he had been.
Right.
And like he was synonymous with Baltimore for quite a long time, and that's just what kind of makes it. Probably what makes people want to defend him a little bit more, but also it just makes it hurt more.
Yeah. And I don't know, if you ask me, I think that brother might have had one too many chicken breasts or something, huh?
Some kind of breast. Oh, you set me up. Dirty. Hey, but you know what? Brighter days are ahead, and I am going to pat myself on the back. Because
take it away, man. Go for it.
When Justin Tucker was in his dire straits of the season and not performing well around mid-November, I remember, because like you said, I am an Arizona Wildcat fan and keep tabs on my team. Tyler Loop kicked a 62-yarder, and I said, you know what? And I'm pretty sure I said it on a show. You know what? If Justin Tucker can't get out of this slump, there's a young man in Arizona that the Ravens should look at. And not only did they look at, they drafted. They used a draft pick on him.
Yeah. Yeah. So there you have it. Listen, don't let nobody tell you that JABO are not soothsayers. Seers of all seers. Because we talk about this. I mean, I think we do a pretty good job of jumping on stuff early and bringing a different perspective. And you're absolutely right, Mark. I mean, we talked about that back in the fall. You absolutely brought him up. And look at God.
Right?
Right. Like, it is it's just... it's wild. It's wild. The one thing that I can say is that Loop already has hella fans.
Right? The pages are...
It's insane. Like, the support... And he hasn't even played one game yet. I mean, I'm actually, I'm pleasantly surprised.
Yeah.
Because it makes it a lot easier to get over and deal with this situation. So good things to come with the chicken game. And everybody will definitely have their eye on Luke because he's got some pretty big freaking shoes to fill. But, I'm confident that he's going to do well and he's going to fit in well.
Definitely.
Absolutely. Let's move on. So I'm only going to talk about the Ravens not the Ravens, the Orioles briefly because they legit make me want to run headfirst into a wall. We are losing. We are below 500. And,
look.
Everybody keeps asking me what's going on with the Orioles. I don't even have an answer yet.
How does a team get 17 strikeouts in a game?
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah. I mean, we don't have, Oriole fans don't have anything to hang their hat on. When the pitching was bad, at least we was hitting the ball. But now it's just like, I don't know, man. I mean...
Yeah.
Do you think there is a fix for the Orioles? I mean, is Brandon Hyde at the root of this? I mean, I know we talked a little bit about the injuries and everything, but every team deals with injuries. Every team deals with injuries.
Yeah.
And they still find ways to win. We are not winning. Like, we are barely winning.
And, the fielders, they called a team meeting the other day. And the vets kind of talked to the younger bats. They went out and won that game. That's great. But you got to keep that momentum up because then they just kept on losing.
Yeah. I mean, I know we got, 1 or 2 more months before we get to mid-season, All-Star break and everything. But, just right now, and to me, how I feel right now is that it would take a miracle for this team to turn around and to get in the playoffs.
Yo, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's just, gosh, I don't know what's more heartbreaking, Justin Tucker or the freaking Orioles, man. I'm serious. It's just, it's really tough, especially if you love the Birds as much as I do, man. It's just, oh man.
Yeah.
But. Do you think Brandon Hyde is on the hot seat?
Oh, he's absolutely on the hot seat. And, when he was first hired, they said, he was a guy to steer the ship while the team was getting all the pieces in place. And as much as I support Brandon Hyde and do love the job he's done, I kind of wonder if they can attract a top-tier manager, maybe... It is time to replace him.
Yeah.
They would have to attract a huge name though.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just so baffled with them. I don't even know what direction they would want to go in.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just so many things wrong, and it's, I should not be surprised because there are teams. Look at the Detroit Tigers who, have been the hits, and then all of a sudden flip the switch and they've turned their team around in a positive direction. So it's a little naive to be surprised when your team goes and, does the opposite thing.
Yeah.
Because that possibility is always there, but I just feel like the Orioles are too talented of a team to be acting like this right now, man.
Definitely. Yeah, they should be right there contending for the division. It's
absolutely. They dropped another game today up there in Minnesota. It was a day game, 5-2. I don't even know what the hell, man. Like, we're in the pits of the AL East. It just hurts because we have consistently been contending over the past 3-4 years, and like I said, I mean, there's so many things wrong. I don't even know, trade deadline's going to be coming up soon. You can't even get anybody to come play. Are you even going to be able to get anybody in a trade deal?
Right.
Like, I mean, there is nobody out there that really, I mean, let's be honest, there's nobody on the team. So, that's that. I hope things get better. I don't know what the hell, man. It's just rough. What else? What else is going on around town? Okay, let's just spend a few minutes on this. We got to spend a few minutes, only because sports is really incorporated in this year's Met Gala. Did you pay any attention to that?
I saw like a couple outfits, but I didn't see anything. I saw one thing regarding sports, but not definitely not what you're talking about.
Yeah. Well, this Met Gala really incorporated. I mean, we love when things cross over, right? So, fashion and athletics was definitely in full effect with this year's Met Gala. Highest earning Met Gala in like 77 years. They had a lot of athletes on the committee this go around, and, it was in full effect. I mean, Angel Reese was out there, DeAndre Hopkins, Simone Biles and her husband, Justin Jeffries was out there. I mean, there were a lot of athletes. Oh my God, the entire starting lineup for the New York Liberty came through. I mean, it was great. I mean, Breonna Stewart looked the best that she's ever looked.
Oh, wow.
And I don't think she's attractive at all. Like, seriously.
Wow.
I'm sorry. But, I keep wondering. But she looked absolutely fantastic, man. So it was really good to see that crossover. It's really, I mean, fashion has become an aspect of sports. We love to see the walk-ins when they're walking into the arena or into the stadium.
Right.
It's become a big thing on social media. Who's wearing what, who looks the sharpest, pre-game. So, it was like the ultimate mesh between the two worlds, and I really appreciated it this go around.
Yeah.
Just to go ahead.
I'm going to throw a picture up on the screen, and you're familiar with Sabrina Carpenter, the singer, right?
Yeah.
So they were comparing her fit to Gunther, the former world heavyweight champion in WWE, and I gotta say, like, it's really similar.
I love it. It was dope. I mean, a lot of great looks. The theme this year was dandyism, which has a lot of historical reference with the African American community. I'm not going to really go into the whole historical part of it all, but outsiders, what I always say, Google is your friend. So look it up, learn.
Yeah.
There's a lot of history there. It's really cool. Really cool. I'm going to tell you one thing that I did not appreciate at the damn Met Gala.
What's that?
Rihanna pregnant with her third damn baby. Like, there were like two things that had my phone blowing up this week. One was Justin Tucker. The other thing was Rihanna. Everybody knows how. So, the three of y'all are having another baby. I'm like, what? just know. Oh man, but that's in jest. Like honestly, I'm a huge fan of ASAP Rocky. I'm a huge fan of their relationship because it actually looks genuine to me. It's like one of those rare, Hollywood couples that you look at them and be like, you know what, they got it right.
Yeah, it's legit.
Yeah, and she has also, been through a lot. So to see her go through everything that she's gone through and turn herself into a multi-billionaire icon, mogul. I mean, seriously, Rihanna is that bitch. She really is. And, I am happy for her. I really am. But that was one of the huge reveals at the Met Gala. Everybody was falling out. But, yeah, man, it was really cool. Really cool to see all the athletes and everything. And it was really great this year. Let's see. What else do I have on the menu for us? All right, we're going to keep it sports. I'm just looking at this text message about what I typed with the Nuggets. I can't even. All right, let me get back on track here. Okay, let's talk about basketball. All right, so we are in the thick of the second round, and man, I'm going to use a term that we have not used in a while here at Just a Bit Outside, but, there's no other way for me to say this. This second round is full of booty huffness.
Right.
Okay? It is full of booty huffness. I thought it was just a game one thing, but apparently it's not. So let's talk about it. And outsiders, I would like for you to chime in on this as well. Okay? We're going to talk about game one first because that was the most shocking of them all. OKC drops the game. Cleveland drops the game. Boston drops the game. All right? Shockers. Man, one team taking an L, but all three, shocking.
Yeah.
Shocking. Okay? Yes, Oklahoma City got their act together, last night. But I don't even think they're really safe. For real. They better play their ass off because they showed everybody that they can get their ass beat.
Right.
And that, that definitely pumps up your enemies. That definitely pumps them up. Your contenders. In the fashion that you got your ass whipped. It was insane. Let's take it to game two. Okay? Again, Cleveland, Boston. What the hell is going on, Mark, with this second round? I have to ask you, out of the three teams, I'm going to go ahead and I don't care that OKC won their last game. Okay? I don't care that they won their last game. You're supposed to win that first game and make that statement.
Right.
Of these three teams that I just mentioned, and this is for the outsiders as well, who is the most booty huff of the three and why?
Oh, I'll give it to you. I don't think there's any other answer. I know we're going to say the same thing.
We are. Go ahead.
It's got to be the Celtics. And not just because they've had the best record in the NBA the last few years, but they get to the second round. They're up by 20 in both games, and they fumble that and lose both games. How does someone do that?
Yeah. I mean, I have a few friends that are Boston fans, and they're absolutely sick right now.
Oh, I would be too.
Absolutely sick. I thought we were going to say the same thing, but we actually aren't. I'm going to put another spin on it.
Okay.
Put another spin on it. I am saying the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Really?
And you know why I'm saying the Cleveland Cavaliers, because they started off so strong. Remember how we talked about them in the first 2 months of the season, and they carried strong, and you took that first L, but dude, the way you let Halliburton take that second game from you is a little bit ridiculous, yo.
Yeah.
That was absolutely disgusting. Okay, what was it like? He was at the free throw line. He misses the free throw, gets the rebound, dribbles his little ass all the way out to the 3-point line. All of this in like 6 seconds. What the hell, dude? Oh my gosh! If I was a coach, I would have been. I know they got cursed out. Because there is no way in hell that should have happened. Like the way that Boston lost that second game with the block and everything towards the end, that was a result of good defense.
Yeah.
Okay, that was a result of good defense. You can't really say nothing about that. But the way that the game 2 went down between the Indiana Pacers and the Cleveland Cavaliers, disgusting. Disgusting. That is not the way a champion operates. And guess what? They on notice too. And I'm going to be honest with you. Neither Boston I don't believe Boston or Cleveland is going to make it out of this second round.
I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah. We do need one of them to make it, though, because we can't have Indiana and New York in the Eastern Conference Finals.
The most trash. The most trash. I'm sorry to my homies from New York, but seriously, that would be the most trash Eastern Conference Finals there ever was. like seriously.
That'd just be playing for second place. Like, let's see who gets swept by the Western Conference champ.
Right. Do we have any comments on the feed?
Nothing yet.
Okay. But yes. So, I think equally so, it's fair enough to say that, yes, Cleveland and Boston, they are the most booty huff. And, another thing about Boston is, though, the absence of Kristaps Porzingis, you can see, it's felt.
Yeah.
It's felt. Cleveland doesn't even have those excuses, man. Another reason why I picked them. So tonight we have we got a game going down. Oh my gosh, and it's just crazy. This second round is just insane. Tonight we have the Golden State Warriors and the Minnesota Timberwolves. Golden State took that first game. Underdogs have just been whooping ass in this playoffs. It's actually pretty good for basketball. But we all found out a few days ago, Golden State suffers a major blow, losing Steph Curry. What did they say? It was like a week?
Yeah, something like that.
Whatever it is, it's long enough to end their playoff hopes. Do they even have a chance in hell in coming out of this round now without him?
A chance in hell, but it's slim. Timberwolves are favored by 10.5. That's wild.
Yeah. Huge swing. You're already a small team going up against these massive giants, right? And then you lose your best player. I don't even know if I want to watch this game tonight. To be honest with you, I really don't know. It's gonna be a tough watch.
Yeah.
Yeah. But all of this, being said, all of these things that's happening, we might really be ready for a new champion.
It might be time. Yeah.
Yeah. And God forbid Indiana walks away with this whole thing. That would be insane.
Right.
We know about the Knicks. The Knicks suffered heartbreak all through the 90s because of Michael Jordan and just falling short in the 2000s. They've always been trying to get there, trying to get that thing, but you know, it's really looking like we're going to have an unusual suspect, to me, in my opinion, as an NBA champion this year.
It could be, and I'm sure the NBA is actually like salivating at the chance of New York getting into the finals, just because it is the biggest media market.
Well, I'm about to say that would be the best thing for them, right?
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
Absolutely. So we will we'll definitely be watching for the rest of the week to see if anybody can make this thing interesting. But I mean, I just feel like, you know, with the injuries, with the L's that were taken, I feel like this second round is we already know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
In just about every situation. You know. So let's keep it moving. You know, before I get into this last topic, is there any real wrestling or anything you want to put out there?
Real on Wrestling, there is a WWE premium live event, pay-per-view, whatever you want to call it, this Saturday, Backlash. Got some pretty decent build on there. John Cena's defending against Randy Orton, reliving their long feud. That should be interesting. But aside from wrestling, I also wanted to mention, you know, it's an exciting time of year for me because it's conference tournament time for softball. And Arizona's playing right now against UCF, Big 12 tournament. And as we were talking, like in the last couple minutes, Arizona took the lead 4-3, top of the 6th inning.
You know, we love this time of year with softball because it really turns up, and the girls really get the light shine on them for a month.
Oh yeah.
You know, and it's so much fun to, you know, I mean, college sports is always fun, and you know, when it's playoff time, when it's tournament time, you know, we really get to, you know, meet players, really get to learn programs, learn new players and personalities, and you know, college softball, to me, they never disappoint.
Yeah.
Every year it's exciting. Every year it's fun. You know, it's definitely something that I look forward to every year.
Absolutely. I love college softball.
Hell yeah. All right, so for the grand finale, Outsiders, you know how much we love Star Wars here on Just a Bit Outside. And I think this might be the first time when we talk about May 4th after the fact.
After the fact, yeah. We've done shows on May 4th.
Yeah, I want to say most of the time we luck up and have, you know, we have a show the day of, or we make it so that we can do the show the day of.
Yeah.
But you know, unfortunately, you know, just with life and the way things worked out, you know, we are having our annual Star Wars discussion after the fact. But you know, as we all say, may the 4th be with you. And this year, you know, I always try to find different things to discuss every year to keep things interesting for one of our most important holidays. So this year, I came up with the idea of me and you, because I mean, we're both pretty deep into the Star Wars culture. I thought it would be really cool to discuss our favorite lightsaber duels.
Okay.
In the Star Wars franchise. Now, you know, Mark, I told you offline that I wanted to limit this to episodes 1 through 9 because seriously, the Star Wars universe is kind of like the MCU. It's so insane. Like, we could spend like 2 days, 2 shows talking about it, right?
Oh yeah, so, you could make a top 10 list just off the Clone Wars alone, the cartoon.
Yeah. Absolutely. So, you know, we're going to keep it kind of old school here and keep it through episodes 1 through 9. And I thought it would be really cool for us to, you know, just like I said, discuss our favorite lightsaber battles. So, I mean, I feel like we can alternate when discussing our picks, and I'll let you go first.
How many picks are we supposed to have?
I picked 3.
Okay.
How many do you have though?
I mean, it was kind of presented as the best, so I kind of just thought of one. But I mean, I can think of 3. It's not that hard.
Okay. Okay. All right.
I think I'll give my.
Hold on, Mark. Save your best one for last.
Oh yeah.
Okay. All right. Great.
I'll give my number 3 pick. I'll go with the Luke versus Vader in Return of the Jedi when they were there on the Death Star.
Yes, that was my favorite.
That was your favorite? Ooh.
Yeah, man. Because I mean, it's the OG. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it was father versus son. Like, yo. Okay. So that was your so that's your I guess we'll say number 3 pick.
Yeah.
And what about that battle? What about that duel that you love so much?
I mean, it's very dramatic.
Yes.
Father versus son.
Yep.
Vader trying to turn Luke and to the Emperor's side, and the Emperor's just there like laughing like a bitch, like, ha ha ha, this is what I'm doing. You're all in my hand, putty in my hands, and yeah, like as we all know, like Vader and Luke end up teaming together against the Emperor, and it's just so much drama in that fight alone. It's such a good fight.
Yeah. And what's so funny? Like when you talk about the Emperor and everything, in that particular scene, I mean, the drama and the intensity is like so high. You almost forget that mug is sitting in there in the room with them until they randomly, like, show them from time to time. Right. They're like, oh yeah, his ass is sitting here watching this whole thing right along with us.
He's got his popcorn and a soda like he's watching a movie.
Right. Absolutely. Yes. So, okay. And in this particular battle, this one is on several all-time battles lists. Next, I looked up my picks and tried to compare them to other things on the internet, and this battle was on just about every list on the internet. So it's a good one. It's a good one. Okay, so. Oh gosh, this is okay. So my number 3 pick comes from episode 1, The Phantom Menace.
Oh.
And what? Oh gosh.
Oh, I know what you're gonna say.
Yeah, it's Darth Maul versus Qui-Gon Jinn and young Obi-Wan Kenobi.
That's your number 3 pick.
Yeah, that's my number 3 pick.
That is my number 1 pick.
List?
That's my number 1.
What's your number 1 pick? But you know what, like, I can respect that. Because, when episode 1 came out, right, it was like, I want to choose my words very carefully because the prequel episodes. Some people try to give it slack because they call themselves hardcore Star Wars heads and think that things are supposed to go a certain way. But I really enjoyed Phantom Menace. Okay, because it was like what, decades?
Yeah.
Since 4 through 6 had come out.
Yep.
And with those decades came improvements in technology, improvements in cinematography and things like that. And Darth Maul, he was unlike any villain that we had ever seen before in the Star Wars franchise.
Right.
Okay, I mean, he was legit hardcore. I mean, there are things like I remember every time I went to the movie theater to see a Star Wars episode. Okay, and I remember sitting in this theater, and when we got our first real look at Darth Maul, when they were in the desert. Remember when they were in the desert and they were trying to get to their fighter jet,
Yep.
or whatever, and he tells little Anakin to get to the jet as far as he can, and Darth Maul comes through on the speeder, and you're just like, I mean, he made one hell of an introduction, right? You're just like, holy crap,
right.
You know what I mean? Like, my man took off the hood, he had the red face, I mean, he had the look, he had everything, and then to just tease everybody with his little bit of athleticism with that first interaction between him and Qui-Gon Jinn. I remember after that scene, the whole entire movie theater erupted, dog.
Oh, yeah,
I mean, that's how blown away everybody was. I was blown away. I was in there screaming like, oh my God, I'm so happy to be here, I mean, it was just absolutely amazing. And then, to get to the end and watch one hell of a battle between Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon Jinn, man. I mean, that thing was hard body. It was hard body.
Yeah.
Very good. Very good. And, it was just such a well done scene. As I was on the 4th, when I was watching all the movies, because I do it every year, whenever I watch that final battle scene, I always lock in on the expressions of all of the characters that were involved.
Yeah.
All right? Just like, like the tenacity of Darth Maul. You know what I mean? The sense of helplessness for young Obi-Wan.
Yep.
Watching him after he's behind like that force field door.
Yeah.
Knowing that, it's watching him like, I need to help my master. I can't even get there. And he knows that his master needs help.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But there's just one moment where Qui-Gon Jinn and Darth Maul, they going at it. They battle. They going. Right? And Qui-Gon Jinn takes a step back and kind of looks at Darth Maul, and he kind of has this look of, oh shit, I think I finally met my match. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And to me, oh man, it was just such a great moment in the prequel franchise. And anybody that hates on episode 1, something is seriously wrong with you, because I just thought it was just really well done.
Well, like the prequels got a lot of hate for a lot of years from people.
Yeah,
and
I never understood that though, Like, I'm a hard body Star Wars fan.
Well, the people that were kids when those movies were in theaters, like now they're coming up on 40, probably like 30s to 40s, and that to them was their childhood, and we're looked at as like the old heads, and the old heads hate the prequels, but I think like especially in the last 10, 15 years or so, like the old heads have accepted the prequels. They know. Hayden Christensen doesn't get that hate that he used to get. Like, he's beloved and invited back to the franchise. He's appeared again. But going to that scene, everything that you said was spot on, making it my number one. The drama was in there, the advancements in technology. I mean, we had force jumps like 2, 3, 4 stories high up going different platforms. But the thing that pushed it over, that really got me thinking, was things that make a motion picture make you feel, and a big part is music. And that track, Duel of the Fates, that is probably a top 3 track of all of Star Wars music. You got like the opening crawl, you have the Darth Vader's march, and then you have Duel of the Fates as iconic movie music, not just Star Wars, but movie music. And if that was scored in any other way, any other music, I don't think it would have been as effective. But that music made that scene just pop even so much more.
Yeah. It may not be my, my number one battle, But it is by far one of my favorite scenes out of the whole entire franchise. Like, seriously.
Yeah.
Absolutely. All right, so let's move on to your second pick.
My second pick also comes from the prequel movies. And,
yes, my man. Say it.
Revenge of the Sith.
Yes, let's go!
Master versus Padawan.
Hell yes. Hell yes.
They're on Mustafar, the lava planet. And, Obi-Wan's fighting for Anakin's soul. But he sees that he's already become a Sith. He's already Darth Vader. And, man, I aside from the acrobatics and just the drama in that scene, anytime you're left with a dude with stumps and flames coming out of those stumps, something was done right.
Yes, I totally agree. We are locked in on our number 2 choices because I had the same thing. And again, I was thinking about this too. I mean, you just touched on a little bit about the Hayden Christensen, hate and everything like that. But I thought his acting was fan-fucking-tastic, yo.
Oh, right? Yeah.
Like, yo, you felt the hate. You really, I mean, at least I did. I felt the hate.
Yeah.
Well, like that whole last 20 minutes of Revenge of the Sith, I would say from the second he killed them damn younglings all the way to the end, like, yo, I just thought his acting was just fantastic. And I never understood the hate on him either, yo.
Just the overall movie making that they did with him too. I don't know if you caught it. I know I caught it, and I've heard of other people catching it. But in the original trilogy, like Vader, of course, he has the mask on, and like the lights kind of bounce off his eye lenses a certain way. And in Revenge of the Sith, when Mace Windu and Palpatine are fighting, and Anakin's there in the office and like kind of torn on which way to go, when he like makes up his mind kind of to help Palpatine, like he's looking between them, and you kind of get that same glare that you saw on Vader's lenses from the original trilogy. It's wild.
Yeah, absolutely. Agreed. Again, the feeling that you got watching this battle, right? The hate from Anakin Skywalker.
Yeah.
And on the flip side, the absolute despair of Obi-Wan Kenobi and him too. I mean, Ewan McGregor, like, fantastic acting, dude. Like, did you not feel when my man said you were supposed to be the chosen one? You were supposed to deliver us. Like, yo, you felt that in your soul. Like, I mean, even though we knew what was going to, the story, you knew what was going to happen, but they just evoked so much emotion watching them battle, man. It was just insane. Insane and extremely well done. Extremely well done.
Can I tell you a little side story?
Sure.
So, you just said, like, even though you know what's going to happen. So, back around 2002, when Attack of the Clones came out, that's when I was in Southern California. I was working at USC. And, Amada, I love you. I don't know if you're listening, but my old boss at USC, Attack of the Clones was out. And one day she comes into work. She's like, Mark, what? You know that Anakin guy? I think he becomes Darth Vader. I was like, oh my God. Even my friend Sarah, who's like, she likes Star Wars, but she's not like us. She looked at her and she's like, come on, you got to know.
Right. And it was, what's so crazy? It was like, I think I was like, I don't know. It probably when the prequel episodes came out that I realized, or I learned, that Vader is German for father.
Really?
Yeah. It was just like an eye opener for me, but yeah. So, all right, let's move on to your number one pick.
Well, we already talked about it. Duel of the Fates, episode 1.
Oh, okay, all right, Duel of Fates, episode 1. All right, great, great. Um, all right, well, since we already talked about my number one, which was, Return of the Jedi, I'm just going to go ahead and put my other pick out there. I have to show episodes 7 through 9. I got to show them a little bit of love,
Yeah.
right? So, I actually did pick Rey versus Kylo Ren in The Rise of Skywalker.
Okay.
Yeah, I showed Rey a little love. Again, advancements in technology. It kind of had that Revenge of the Sith vibe, but we were just on water. That was my third pick. I wanted to show them a little bit of love.
Yeah. I guess I can just throw an honorable mention to the sequel trilogy, and just say that first movie when Finn picks up a lightsaber there towards the end, and he's battling Kylo Ren. That was a really good. I'll throw an honorable mention to that one because there's so much anger and just desperation on Finn's part, and Kylo he's so driven by anger himself, and aggression, and it really makes me kind of sad for what they did with Finn the rest of those movies, because I really thought he was going to be a Jedi.
Yeah, they played in his face for real.
Yeah.
And I gotta agree with you with the whole honorable mention, because I actually toyed with that idea. I went back and forth about it because, I just said that I wanted to give the sequel episodes some love. And I went back and forth, but ultimately ended up on Kylo Ren and Rey. But that also was a very good scene.
Yeah.
Again, great acting.
Yeah.
Kylo Ren. What is my man's name? What is it?
Oh God.
What's the actor's name?
Adam Driver.
Adam
Driver.
Okay, yeah. Fantastic acting on his part. The recklessness, just the lack of control.
Yeah.
One of the biggest things with me in Kylo Ren, and I think it's like sheer brilliance, to add to the character. When Kylo Ren was getting a sense of defeat, or when he was down, or when he was starting to lose in a battle, the way he would kind of beat himself on the leg.
Yeah.
To pump himself up, just brilliance in a great way for your audience to connect to that kind of emotion.
Right.
Because you can only do but so much screaming and hollering, right?
Right. Yeah.
Right. But just those small touches with the acting. To me, it really made the battles. It elevated the battles. I'll just say that.
Yeah. Total agreement.
Total agreement. All right, my man. I love doing. I'm telling you, man. This is this is one of my favorite episodes every year, because I love you're just as deep in it as I am, and I love chopping it up with you on a Star Wars tip, man.
Hell yeah.
Anything else you wanted to put out there regarding Star Wars?
Well, for our video game people, Fortnite has a whole Star Wars season going on right now. Star Wars has invaded the island.
Really?
Yeah, their whole battle pass is Star Wars themed. You got Star Wars characters. You got a Star Wars Fortnite mashup character who's like a Wookiee costume, which is kind of awkward looking. But yeah, it's fun. I enjoy Fortnite. The boy plays Fortnite, and definitely enjoying the Star Wars season. You can actually get in X-Wings and TIE Fighters and fly around those and shoot people too. So Fortnite's a free game. Download it, give it a try.
All right. Good. Oh man, awesome show, man. Anything else you want to touch on before I let you sign us off for the evening?
That's it.
Okay, well, you take it away, Mark.
All right. Well, I asked Keisha for a little bit of time here at the end of the show, because it is our show and we talk about the things that we care about. And it feels like I've had to do this on this show far too many times. But my family suffered another loss this week, and
oh
man, I'm getting emotional. I threw a picture up there on there. It's from her Facebook. My cousin Jen Foster, Jenny.
Oh wow!
I grew up in Arizona. Everyone knows that. My parents are from Michigan, so a lot of my family is in Michigan. But my dad's brother, Dennis, he settled in Tucson too. So I had cousins, and everyone knows how much cousins mean to them. And I got to grow up with my cousins, and holidays were always spent together. Even non-holidays, like weekends, we'd be up there, and got in a lot of trouble with my cousins, but have a lot of wonderful memories with them. And Jenny, like, she's a lot older than me. She was 57, I believe. So, yeah, it's like 8 years older than me, a couple years older than my brother. She was an amazing woman. She genuinely cared about everyone. Like, she was one of those people, like, if you just talk to for like 3 minutes, like, you're their best friend, and she expresses as much care as you could ever feel, the warmth. I remember, I don't remember anything about it now, but she taught me how to play piano when I was a kid. She taught me a song, and I learned that, and like, that's definitely one of the things I remember most, as a small child. She was an Amazon. Her mom's like tall, so she was like 6 feet. She played, I remember her playing volleyball as a, in high school and college. My dad actually just told me before the show that she had been refereeing local like high school games. So she kept that contact with sports all the way up till the end. And something else that I didn't remember, but she was actually like the first girl to play on Pop Warner football in Tucson.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And everything about her was just warmth. I moved away from Tucson the first time in like around 2000, and then this last time it was 2008, and so we didn't get to keep in contact as much as possible and see each other. But the last time I went to Tucson, we got to spend some time together, and that's really right when we started this show, and like, that's all she wanted to talk about with me. Like, she, how'd you get into this? You really enjoying it? And she cared. She cared about everyone she came in contact with. And, when my brother passed, we got to see each other again in Dallas during the funeral, and stayed at the same hotel, and got to spend a lot more time than I had in years, which I am so grateful for. And to my other cousins and her brothers, John and Joe and Scott, just I am so sorry that you are experiencing this. What I went through 2.5 years ago, like, I don't want anyone else to experience, and my heart breaks for you guys. One last thing about Jenny was she, like everyone, she had her demons, she had her problems in life, but every year she would post her anniversary of being sober, and that was one of the things she was absolutely most proud of in life. And she made such a turn and a change, and she always would say if she could do it, anyone can. And if anyone's out there struggling with demons and addiction, you can do it, because I know she went for a long time after beating those demons, and she would keep going if if she hadn't tragically passed. So to the rest of my family, my uncle and my aunt, Dennis and Sharon, all my love to you guys, and Jenny, rest in peace.
Jake. Mark, you already know, your family is my family and vice versa, man. And my condolences, man, and I will definitely keep you and your family lifted in prayer this week, man. And I love you to death, man. Love you to death.
Love you too. Love you too.
All right, you guys, I'll be in this show, Baltimore Spread Love, yo. As always, I'm Keisha, and on the other end of the line, it's my main man, Mark, and we are just a bit outside. Peace.